Hey, you probably don't recognize me because I usually look like hell on Sunday mornings when I shoot these things early and all. So I thought I'd get dressed up for you. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. I hope your holidays were blessed and wonderful. Mine definitely were. Hey, today I want to talk about commitment. That's the word for today, commitment. You know, we're about to graduate a lot of students at one time. We actually have two classes that are graduating. They've gone through the business class, and then another one that's about to graduate the formal training, and then they enter the business class. Sorry to bother you, too much detail, but bottom line is we have about 20-something people that are about to move on. And it's interesting. You know, they've invested 2 years at our school, 2 years of class twice a week, 3 hours per class, plus all the practices in between. It's a tremendous commitment of time, energy, and resources, financial, emotional, in every way, shape, and form. And as they finish things off, you know, you can just tell those that gave themselves over to it and worked hard and those that didn't. Those whose instrument is at a certain level and those whose isn't. And it's interesting. It's like, you know, as I look back on my career, the one thing that I wish I'd done a better job of is relaxing more, you know, having more balance. It's always been a theme for me in all my relationships. And although I'm been working on it and getting much better at it, the last several months, some things have happened for me personally that have challenged me to take a whole nother look at it. Well, anyway, and I've learned a great deal, and I wish I knew then what I know now about not only balance but work ethic. Now, work ethic was never my issue. That's part of why I was always out of balance. I was always working too hard. But it is interesting to look at these students about to graduate, and if you were to line them up, I swear I could just put them in a line of where their instrument's at, how much they've grown since the time they arrived to us to the time they're leaving. So many of them gave away so many classes, weeks sometimes, and sometimes even a session or two. Now, again, you know, they got a lot going on. The stresses, the pressure, the breakups, there's a lot. There's a lot to deal with. When you spend 2 years going through something, you've got a lot of things that will distract you, that'll pull focus, that'll beat you up, you know. But again, welcome to life. That's everybody. Can you be a gamer? You know, I think it's like, you know, I heard Chris Rock, I think it was Chris Rock, he goes, there's some jobs you just can't suck at. You can't be mediocre at. You just can't, right? And like, for example, an airline pilot, you just can't be just okay. You have to be absolutely incredible, right? And I think he was talking about cops in the segment, but he was basically, his point was a good one, which is there's just some professions where you got to bring it. And in the craft of acting, it's you get so few breaks, so few opportunities where your life could literally change. You know, that, and here's the craziest part of it. You don't even know when it's happening sometimes. Sometimes if it's a huge audition for a huge role, then it's so obvious, right? And you think of all the auditions and all the meetings and all the bullshit you went through to get to that audition. And so you had to show up for those to get that opportunity. Does that make sense? But sometimes these big breaks, we don't even know they're big breaks. They just seem like a simple little audition. But if you book that job, or you at least do well, you make an impression on that casting director who brings you back in. We always say this all the time. Someone is always, always watching you in this profession. Someone's always taking note. And so as we graduate these people that are on varying degrees of advancement in their time with us, and if they were to give an overall grade to their time, which from time to time we ask them to do, to hold a mirror up, what grade would you give yourself this session? God, one year we did this, it was just disgusting. I was disgusted at how many people were getting by on natural ability, and were not, because their grades were like B minus, which means it's really in the C range, honestly. And how few A's there were. We pride ourselves in our school having that level of student, that caliber, and for the most part, we do. And we do our best to weed out anybody that's pulling that class down. We do. We have a beginning class. We have a beginning class that started with 20. In a 2-week period, 5 people went out the door. Some were removed, some quit, all for varying different reasons. But there it is. But I will say this. Most quit as it started to unfold because of what was asked of them. They didn't like feedback. They didn't like criticism. They saw that the work was taken to a whole new level. They realized they were going to have to work a hell of a lot harder, and they kicked out, and that's great. So I walked into the class, because you see the class a little shell-shocked. I said, look, it's a good thing, man. We're going on this journey together, and this boat just got lighter. That's good. I'm glad they're gone. Nothing personal at all. I would direct that at anybody who doesn't want to be there, who doesn't want to bring it. But, okay, so what's my point? How are you doing with your work ethic towards your dream? How are you doing advancing your dream? What are you doing on a daily basis to advance your dream? I used to say to myself, I used to challenge myself at the end of every single day that I could say yes to the following: that my career is further along in some capacity, and that my instrument, my craft, my talent as an actor is also further along. And I took it a step further. I actually had a three trifecta of that, which was I also wanted to be able to say yes to those two, and that I was further along just as a human being. Am I a better version of me at the end of this day than when I started? Is my career further along than when I started? And is my instrument further along than when I started? And I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm far from perfect, fall down all the time. But my answer to that consistently has been yes. And I guess, I was down in LA recently. I'm going to be going down there a lot more, it looks like. I'm excited about it. I've got a lot of wonderful opportunities that we're creating that we'll see how they unfold. But I'm ready for these meetings, and I'm ready for this level of experience, and I'm ready for these breaks, and I've worked hard, and I've set the table, and I'm rock solid in terms of just the freedom of walking into rooms like this and being me. It's taken a long time, and it's part of working on me. It's part of working on my craft. It's part of working on my career. All those things, all those elements, chop, chop, chop. I wonder where your career would be. I wonder where your dream would be if for the next, let's just say 30 days, just try it. Just try a 30-day challenge. In fact, here we go. For the month of December, I wonder, and okay, and here we go. And I'll put this in the thread or in the type part. Who's gonna accept this challenge? That for the month of December, you'll be able to say yes every single day to the following: my career is further along. The business of my dream is further along than when I started every day. That my instrument as an actor, and hell, that can be just watching quality work. I did something to sharpen my instrument, and that just in terms of my humanity, let's even define it even more specific. My health as a dreamer, dealing with fears and insecurities and doubt, that I do something, I'm a better version, I'm healthier, I'm stronger, I'm more empowered than when I woke up this morning. There we go. How about that? Took a little while to get there. That's what this newsletter is about, because I've got a bunch of people about to graduate that would not have a great overall grade for that experience. What a bummer. What a waste. That's really sad. And by the way, we have a bunch of people who crushed it, and it shows. So get both feet in, chop, chop, chop. Let's crush December. Let's finish this year strong, personally and professionally. I'm in too, guaranteed. So here we go. Okay? All right.